Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, it's gonna be very serious. That's why I'm standing up instead of sitting down today, because we're gonna have a conversation about why and how do we still not have a black coming of age, a summer black coming of age movie in the 2020s. So what made me choose this topic for this video was I saw a tweet on Twitter last week, and the tweet was, why don't we have summer coming of age movies for black girls? And the examples the user used was Monte Carlo with Selena Gomez and Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants and many other movies. I forgot what other movies, but oh yeah, the Lizzie McGuire movie. Like, why don't we have those kind of movies for black girls? And that raised a lot of question with people commenting things like, oh, we have coming of age movies like Love and Basketball and Cheetah Girls. And the examples they were using were kind of off. And they were like, Baby Boy. I'm like, what about this is like summer coming of age? None of that gave that. A lot of today's black producers and black directors and black writers, not all of them, but a lot of the mainstream ones, they rather tell the black struggle story versus actually like depicting black people of what they are used to. Not every single black person in America or in the world is like struggling with some sort of thing that. But I get it, because when I was having this conversation with a friend, he also brought up the point where they also might be feeding black people what they like to see. Like, what are the movies black people support the most? And that raises a great question. Like, what do black people want for real? Like, what are y'all willing to support? A lot of black women are tired of seeing the same pick-me black love story. They're tired of seeing the lucky black friend amongst the one lucky black friend amongst the group of white friends. It's like, we're tired of seeing the same story, like the mean black girl and she so happens to be dark-skinned. The other week, I, for the first time, watched Love and Basketball throughout. Like, as a kid, I seen like bits and pieces of it, but I watched it throughout. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, why was this everyone's favorite love story movie back then? Like, I remember as a kid hearing like young black adults say, oh, Love and Basketball, my favorite movie. Quincy and Monica were like couple goals. And I'm watching the movie. I'm like, this is low-key a horror story. Like, this man said, she said, I'll play you for your heart. And he's over here dunking on her and he got a broken knee or something. I'm like, what about this is giving love? Like, this man was playing her in her face, and the scene where they were broken up or something and he had brought her to his dorm and had another girl like doing all that in her face. I'm like, what about this is like couple goals? And like with Baby Boy, Jody, and Yvette's character, like none of that stuff is like, it's just struggle. And then when things like Power, a very popular show with mainly black cast, it's like before he was killed, Ghost's character, and I forgot her name, but Notori Naughton's character, like just toxic struggle. Like, they had money, I guess they had like what the typical black person would want, but nothing about it was love. He was cheating on her. Like, when the love of his life died, he was like, Tasha, please, I can't. The love of my life just died. I'm like, whoa. Like, this man hated her. And in my honest opinion, I just feel like Hollywood not only isn't ready, but I just feel like they don't want to put the money behind a black story being told positively. Like, if it's not having to do with some sort of gang leader, some sort of struggle love, like that one movie, Queen and Slim. Like, there's so many examples. Like, they just don't want to put the budget behind that. And also, I feel like black people are just not ready to support something that's just positive. You know, Issa Rae just came out with a movie with Keke Palmer and SZA, and it seems to be doing okay, especially for a big production movie, because I believe the budget was almost like $20 million, and that's a pretty big production. So I hope it continues to do well. It seems to be positive. I haven't seen it yet, but when I do, I'll let y'all know what it's giving. Marsai Martin, like, speaking of Issa Rae, they had a movie together with Regina Hall, and it was called Little. I didn't see it yet, but I seen the clips and stuff like that, and it was amazing. It seemed to be amazing. Like, people spoke positively about it. It's basically like a 13 going on 30, like life size, like the black version of that. And it's like, where's our black version of Clueless, our black version of The Breakfast Club, our black version of Pretty Woman, and dancing, like stuff like Mamma Mia? I don't think we'll ever be able to get those things because, like, honestly, they just do not want. I feel like people should still strive to put those stories out, because at the end of the day, you should never wait for someone to give you a seat at their table. Like, create your own table. I feel like the black writers, or maybe the directors, producers, whatever, they care too much about being backed up. Like, there's so many people who are still trying to tell the stories with like little to no support financially from it. And it's like, they're still writing the scripts. And I believe there's so much creativity out there in the world that just hasn't, the light just hasn't been shed on them. And I believe the light will be shed and they will just break through. It'll shock everyone. Like, how is this, like, you know what I mean? Like, no, it's like black people are not allowed to be mediocre. Like, there's so many mediocre movies that came out last year, and it's just like, I was telling someone, I was like, if there was a black face over that movie wouldn't even have like 5 million opening week in the box office. Like, I'm not gonna say what movies, but if you know, you know. Another thing, I just feel like the black writers are like kind of not scared, but they're either scared or they just don't know how to get creative with the writing. Because it's like some of the stuff that comes out is like missing substance. Like, I don't know, like, for example, people like Tyler Perry, who I think is great at what he does. When I found out that he's the only person that writes, produces, directs, and everything, I'm like, that's cool. But when you kind of see the work he puts out, it's like, it wouldn't hurt just to have a little help or to hear out, from other people, so your movies could be better. Like, for a long time, like, Hollywood did not take Tyler Perry movies serious. Excuse me. They did not take any Madea movie serious. And if you've seen Madea movies, there's great messages in the movies, but you wouldn't know that because all you see is a 6 feet plus black woman with long tits and a gray hair, basically giving like a mammy vibe. No shade, but that's what it's giving in the eyes of them. So it's like, it's hard for them to take it seriously. And imagine if if Tyler Perry like came up with such a structured movie. Like, I'm not saying the stuff he's putting out right now is bad, but I'm just saying it's missing something that's like just not touching the audience fully, like young people fully is what I'm trying to say. I feel like his work is more so for people who've been there since his first play, like in the 2000s, like early 2000s, and that's okay. But I'm just saying what it is. Like, y'all remember the Get Down and Dope and stuff? I feel like that was the last era of when like people were willing to put money behind like good shows. Even though the Get Down was canceled after like the first season, I feel like it literally had so much potential, but they let the ball drop. Once again, when you look back in the early 2000s and the 90s, black people had shows, positive shows like Girlfriends and Living Single and Martin and all these things that were like positive in some way, and they were relatable to the average black person. They were funny. Sometimes the jokes were cheesy, but it's still liked. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it was cheesy at times, but people liked it. Family Matters, The Parkers, and so on. All of Us, like the One of One, like it goes on. So much great shows. I fear we'll never see anything like that again because they just not willing to put money behind it. It's not taken seriously, and black people also are not supporting it. For a director, in order for their movies to get recognition, they have to put like a one white face that's popular. Like Lee Daniels came out with a movie last year. I think it's called The Exorcist, something like The Exorcism or something, and it had Andra Day and Monique and so many people in there, and it's like Glenn Close was in there, and I feel like that's why the movie got the most recognition that it has gotten. Like, people were talking about how, oh yeah, Glenn Close is invited to the cookout, and it's like, dang, like y'all just be inviting anybody to the cookout. Like, that's all it takes. Like, they're not inviting you to the hoedown. Like, they're not inviting you to any of their stuff, and y'all be so quick to invite anybody that aligns themselves with black people to like the cookout. Like, I don't even want to go to the cookout if y'all inviting anybody. Like, I don't want to go. Don't even make my plate. I don't even want a plate. I'm not coming. Don't get me wrong, movies about struggle and like race and all that stuff are important, but it's like sometimes you just want to, you know, watch people live their lives. Like Emily in Paris, for example. Like, why can't we have our Emily in Paris but with a black girl? Like, why can't we have that stuff? And I'm not like trying to say there's something wrong with white people being the face of these things. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like it'd be nice to see something different in comparison to what we're always seeing, you know? I hope with this video, like, it'll start a discussion, because discussions need to be had. Like, if any writers see this, I'm supporting you. If you got a movie coming out, just send me the link. I will watch it as long as it's free, JK. If it's not, as long as it's not expensive. But I will still support, you know, do what you gotta do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and comment what you want me to talk about next. I'll do that. I won't talk about everything, but I'll talk about interesting things that deserve to be talked about. And I hope you guys like, subscribe, share, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.